Hello everybody and welcome to the Gaming Talk, where I just talk about random stuff that I've written down before and jibber jabber for years, which I'm not very good at, but I will learn because this is only episode 1. I don't know how many times these will be uploaded. I don't know if it's going to be weekly, bi-weekly, tri-weekly, monthly, yearly, definitely not yearly, but just whenever this is kind of whenever I feel like making one of these. I don't have a good idea for a video, so I just kind of make this. It isn't I'm just gonna get by something that they won't even notice, and it's gonna be a bad video that doesn't take much effort. It does take effort. I have to record the 20-minute audio, about 15-20 minutes. Then I have to go record footage to put in the background and things like that, because I can't just have pictures, or else you guys will get bored. So let's start off. War Thunder. Gaijin, you know, the company that makes War Thunder, and they're Russian. So, Russian, saying, okay, that makes them sound bad. Just because I said Russian makes me look like I'm a stereotype to Russians, which I'm not. I'm just saying, I don't know why I said they're Russians, that really wasn't needed. But, so, everybody is, you know, mad at Gaijin and things like this, which I understand. They have made bad choices. They try to fix them, they really do. The problem is, I think they have the potential to be a very, very good company. The problem is, they're very greedy. That's one of their problems. They just try and, they don't necessarily do it for enjoyment of the player, they do it for how much money can we get from the player. You know, we're going to add a new tier 5 tank or aircraft, so our player spends Golden Eagles to get a premium vehicle, then plays Golden Eagles to buy a premium account, and then grinds down the line to get that vehicle, or uses Golden Eagles to get that vehicle through XP conversion. So they make money for every plane tank they add, basically. And it's kind of becoming, it wasn't obvious at first, but now it's becoming obvious that they're just trying to do it for money. And this might not necessarily be true. You know, this might just be an ugly rumor started that's going around, and Gaijin isn't that bad. But from what we've seen, it's more truth than fiction. I was gonna try to say something cool there, but it's more, it's basically, I'm thinking of a way to say this. It was hard to tell at first, but it's clear now. I mean, they're greedy. They're a little greedy. And another one of their issues is they make changes to the game before they think them through. For example, arcade maps into realistic battle queue. Terrible idea. Extremely bad idea. They just didn't think it through. I can see why they did it. It would add more maps to the queue. You know, keep maps keep the height. Basically, what it would do is it would make it to where you aren't seeing Korea every single game, or you aren't seeing Berlin every single game, which you tend to see those maps a lot. That is one of the reasons they do that, but then again, realistic players, die-hard realistic players, don't want that. I mean, the arcade maps are not built for realistic at all. So, I mean, they just didn't think it through before they put them in, and then they did it, and everybody got outraged, got their pitchforks and torches, walked down to the Gaijin office, started yelling, and it was not good. Yelling. Show's British. I mean, British people are really awesome. But yeah, Gaijin has the potential to be a good company if they weren't money thirsty, and if they just thought things through. So, 1.51 was recently released for War Thunder. My opinions on the patch, relatively good. they made they took a big risk releasing tanks like the Leopard 1, T-10M, and M60 into the game, because they're starting to get more into the modern era of tanks. You know, the 60s, the late 50s, early 60s, where tanks were starting to get fitted with like heat rounds, really high penetration heat rounds, as they have, and they were starting to get technology, some even missile launchers, things like that. But I think their risk paid off, and I don't think people really cared, because they didn't have high-tech electronic thermal viewers and rocket launchers on the sides. So, I mean, I think people, as long as they're 8.0, I think people don't really care. The T-10M was a little excessive. I mean, we already have the IS-7, I'm thinking World of Tanks. We already have the IS-3 and the IS-4 in game. Why? Oh, and not to mention the 3 T-54s. Or is it 4? I think it's 3 T-54s. The 2 SU, I think there's 2 tank destroyer tier 5s. And then add on that another IS or T-10, and that's just kind of, it wasn't needed, but I think they just did it because they wanted to when it was cool. I don't know why they did it exactly, but no one seems to care, because it's not as OP as people thought it would be, so they don't really care. The M60 Patton, I think this one, I'm not sure exactly right now if this was oh, we're gonna add another tank so we can make more money, or if this was the American line needs more tanks at tier 5, so we're gonna give them more tanks. And the American tier 5 does need a little bit more tanks. The M103, good tank, and the M47, both good tanks, but they're the real only great tank they had at tier 5 was the M103, while Russia has the Su-122-54, the IS-4, the IS-3, the T-54s. Germany has not necessarily the Panthers, but the Jagdtigers, the Maus, the Tiger 105, tanks like that. So I think the M60 was needed, partially because America didn't have the tank. They didn't have the tank that is feared in every battle, such as the Maus or the IS-4. The tanks that you don't want to see in battle. The Leopard 1, also very needed by Germany, high tier, that no doubt about it. German high tier, German tanks in general struggling very much. And so I think they needed a good, fast tank that had a good gun. The Leopard, the Leopard. I keep thinking Panther, but the Leopard, in my opinion, has the best gun in the game. The 105, amazing heat round, amazing DPM, or not DPM, but rounds per minute, because this isn't World of Tanks. I keep thinking it's World of Tanks for some reason, but it's a really good tank, and Germany needed it. So nothing really new for Britain besides the new cannon-armed, or the 40mm cannon-armed Hurricane, which, I haven't gotten it yet. I'm wanting to soon to hopefully review on a video or something, but it looks derp. And I'm not sure Japan got really anything at all. So my opinions of the patch, pretty good, I think. So World of Tanks, let's move on to Watt. I'm going to try to get as much done as I can in about 15 minutes, because I don't want to make this too long, because I don't want to have to make you sit through all of this. So, World of Tanks, tell me what tanks you want me to grind, because right now I do not have many tanks. I am currently halfway through the IS-7 line. I am halfway, or about a third way to the KV-85. Excuse me. And after the IS-7, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I want to get the Object 140, the Waffenträger, whatever it's called. Why did I do Russian there? It's a okay. Well, I'm just gonna call it the Waffle Tractor, the Waffle Tractor E100, or the Jagdpanzer E100. I'm thinking of those tanks to grind. So, and it doesn't even have to be any of those tanks. Just tell me which tank you think is very good at the high tiers, and you think I should grind for, and you'd like me to see. So, and I think I'll be starting I don't know, like a Road 2 series or something, but each one's gonna take like a year because I'm not one of those players who sits on World of Tanks for 2 hours grinding. I can't do that. It's just, it gets too repetitive for me. Most of the time, I just play a game or two, shut my computer, or like play a game or two, go play for done, go play on turn, something like that. Close my computer for an hour, watch random stuff on YouTube, then get back. I'm just kind of like that. So, just tell me some tanks to grind, and I'll try and get them as quick as possible. Community, the Walk community. I have on my list community, aka jerks. I don't mean the community is jerks. I mean there are jerks in the community. So community for World of Tanks. I don't think I really need to talk about this. I think this should be more in the War Thunder category, but I wrote this thing like a week ago because I planned to do this. Don't do the about a week ago thing, 'cause that's so old. I planned to do this a while ago, and I didn't because I was like, nope, got better videos to do, and so I didn't. So I don't know. I keep going on randomly. So the community, I think it's a decent community. You know, they support the game, and they let them know when they've done something wrong, which they normally don't do. I'm talking about wargaming, of course, which they normally don't do. They usually do stuff that pleases the community, but you know, that's just my opinion. I think the community's strong, except for those guys, you know, like who just you know, say slurs in chat and stuff like that, just to be jerks and just to. And I don't like players who pick on noobs for not being very good, because I'm not very good at the game at all. I mean, 47% win rate. I do only have like 800 battles, but I only have a 47% win rating and like 2,700 personal rating, which isn't good at all. But I mean, I just don't like that. But you know, I'm not being like, I don't like that, it's so mean, because I'm not like that. So, community is strong, as I've said for the past 3 times. Dang, it takes me forever to wrap the subject up. WoW's World of Warships. Open beta hit. I was a closed beta tester for a while. I got in pretty early. I watched live streams for I literally sat on my computer for like 6 hours a day watching live streams just to get giveaways. And I finally won a key at like the middle, like at the end of the night. Finally won, and I got in early, and it was enjoyable. I definitely enjoyed it. I got up to tier 6, so yeah, and I got the Arkansas beta because I was a beta tester. So, you know, open beta, it came late. I wish it came later because I wanted to play more ships, and now I have to start all over. But I think, you know, it's still a small community. I mean, you only see 9,000 people on it at a time, compared to World of Tanks, 30,000 on it at a time. I mean, on each server for the U.S., which isn't really. I mean, I don't know if the U.S. is its most played region. It probably is, but open beta, they'd waited long enough. That's all I'm gonna say. And then my expectations for the community. If it's anything like World of Tanks, which it is, because most of the players from World of Tanks are from most of the players in World of Warships are from World of Tanks. So I'm really hoping that the World of Warships community is as solid as it is for World of Tanks. It's going to be a little jittery at first, I believe, because, you know, they're still working things out. They might make some mistakes, but I think it'll be strong, you know, as wargaming usually does good on its communities. Yeah, so I think this is, oh, the channel. One last subject, the channel. I don't know really about the channel. I just think it's not really growing at all. I really don't. I only have 0 subscribers. That's really because I haven't publicized it much. I just kind of want to grow naturally, not, you know, comment, hey, please check me out on YouTube. But so yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this episode of the gaming talk. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff. If you didn't like this video, leave a dislike so I know, you know, to do less of these if you don't like these. You know, if you're just a hater, you know, I don't really care. Leave a comment telling me if you dislike it, why you dislike it, if you like it, why you like it, stuff like that. And that's about it. Goodbye. See you in the next one. Yeah, that's my intro now. Not really.